I think any excuse to celebrate is a good excuse.
Oseh Shalom, Oseh Shalom, Oseh Shalom high. 18 years ago, our spirits lifted high. Now it is our birthday, our spirits lifted high. Oseh Shalom, Oseh Shalom, Oseh Shalom high.
So it's not the building itself that we celebrate. It's everything that we've done to fulfill our mission as Jews that we celebrate 18 years later, and that's quite an accomplishment.
Oseh Shalom high. Oseh Shalom, Oseh Shalom, Oseh Shalom high. 18 years ago, our spirits lifted high. Now it is our birthday.
There are times when it's really special to commemorate and honor certain points in your life. And high is a very important number. 18 is a very important number because it means high. It means that we've been in this place, in this building, and have been alive and growing as a community for 18 years in this building.
Shalom, Oseh Shalom, Oseh Shalom high. 18 years ago, our spirits lifted high. Now it is our birthday, our spirits.
It's a really big deal. That's like a long time, for like the building to have been around, and it's also exciting because of, high or whatever, and it's really important in Judaism. So it's like how your 18th birthday is a big deal, so why shouldn't it be a big deal for synagogue?
Shalom high, Oseh Shalom high, Oseh Shalom high, Oseh Shalom, Oseh Shalom, Oseh Shalom high, Oseh Shalom, Oseh Shalom.
It's really special to be able to see the congregation grow and be able to look back at all the things we've done in this building over those 18 years. Yeah, it's a really big deal.
Oseh Shalom, Oseh Shalom high, Oseh Shalom high, Oseh Shalom high, Oseh Shalom, Oseh Shalom, Oseh Shalom high, Oseh Shalom high, Oseh Shalom high.
It took us quite a long time to get into this building. The planning and the hope and all the excitement about moving into a new building was going on for years. And so when we finally moved in, it was a big relief. The congregation started quite a bit before I came to Laurel. It started in 1966. And when the congregation first was meeting, they were meeting in the basement of a bank on Main Street in Laurel. And they were there for a while, I can't remember just how long. And then the congregation moved into a house in the Montpelier section of Laurel and met in this house. And there are other folks that can tell the stories better than I, but we had lots of difficulties there in the house because it's a residential area. It wasn't an area that was intended to have a church or a synagogue. The next place we moved was to what we call now the old building over on Briarwood Road. The building that we were in before this one was a smallish building on the south side of Laurel.
The entire building that we used to have could fit in the sanctuary that we pray in this building. That was the size of the whole building.
The building that we used to be in, we used to call it our one-room show house, because it was shaped, the middle of the building was shaped like actually the whole building was shaped like the middle of a Jewish star. So if you were looking at it from above, you saw the inside of the Jewish star without the spokes.
And we had basically this one big room, a little bit carved off on the side, where we had a little office and a little alcove that was the kitchen.
And so you can imagine how small the sanctuary was and the religious school. In fact, we had to use the sanctuary as the religious school and the religious school as the sanctuary for services, and we could not use the building for the high holidays when everyone in the congregation would come at the same time.
And when it was a sanctuary, the whole building was a sanctuary. And when it was a school building, we used to put up cardboard or fake walls, different walls in between the classrooms. And sometimes those walls didn't always stay up, so they would fall down.
And the portable walls would be like tension between the ceiling and the floor. And on occasion, they'd fall over. And in the middle of class, the wall falls in on one of the classrooms, and so people had to stop and put the wall back up.
So we had to be really, really, really careful. But we had every grade in that school, in that little building.
Something you'll notice in this building, you notice in the classrooms the windows are very high. Notice that? One of the reasons for that is in the old building, the windows were what you'd call regular height. And every now and then, a student would open up the window and take off. And so we made sure that wasn't going to happen in this building. We put the windows very high. You can't crawl out of those windows.
What's your favorite memory of Oseh Shalom?
My favorite memory of Oseh Shalom. I had my adult bar mitzvah at Oseh Shalom back when we had our old building. It was a very small building on Briarwood Drive. I had my bar mitzvah, I had my dad come up on the bima. I read from the Torah and the Haftorah and did Havdalah service. I'd never done Havdalah service before. So I'm reading the prayers from my Braille prayer book, and the candle wax is dripping on my hands. So I'm trying to read the Braille while the hot wax from the Havdalah candle is dripping on my hand.
Oseh Shalom changed buildings from its old building on the other side of Laurel to this building because we had grown so large we just could not fit in the building that we had.
We decided we were growing too big and we had too many neat things to do, and we couldn't do them all in that tiny little building.
So we wanted very much to have a home, a place that we could come to not just for the high holidays, but for every Shabbat and for all of the activities.
We also decided that we needed to look at a lot of different kinds of synagogues. We wanted to see, what is a synagogue? What should it look like? What are other people doing?
One of the reasons that we built the building the way we did was so that it would teach people about Judaism, about who we are as Jews and what Jews believe and what Jews do.
Kol haolam kulo, gesher tsar me'od, gesher tsar me'od, gesher tsar me'od, kol haolam kulo, gesher tsar me'od, gesher tsar me'od. והעיקר, והעיקר, לא לפחד כלל, והעיקר, והעיקר, לא לפחד כלל.
When we were ready to move into this building, we moved the Torah scrolls from the old building to this building.
We wanted to make a grand celebration.
And it was about 4 miles, but we did what we called a Torah tote.
It was fun. We had what we did when we moved into this building. We carried the Torah scrolls in a parade from the old building to the new.
And almost everybody in the congregation came.
Everybody took turns carrying the Torah from the old building to here.
And Rabbi Fink and John Reel and I were in the front of the parade.
A parade led by not the rabbi, not the president, led by the Torahs. Because it was the Torahs that everyone followed from the old building to the new building.
And we sang and marched, and it was a wonderful occasion.
There was singing, there was dancing, there was the carrying of Torahs.
And then we did a special ceremony when we got here.
We had some speeches and some other kinds of things. We had some music. I did some music, and we had a chorus of members of the religious school that did something that morning. And so I led that chorus also.
It was very, very special to be able to move as a family from the old building to the new building.
It was a great day, great day.